What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land. Now, I really couldn't just sit here and just let this news go by without discussing this with you guys because I got so heated by some of this information, some of the things that were brought up in an interview recently. And this regards Paper Mario the Origami King. So pretty much I'm just going to talk to you guys about an interview that Video Games Chronicle did with the development team for the game. And they talked about some very interesting things with the producer, Mr. Tanabe, and about things and decisions that they decided to go with within the game. And a lot of it is very, very annoying. And I felt like I really needed to get my word out there and talk about some of these things and express my concern and grievances, because if you read the comments of any video that has been placed about this and anything on YouTube or whatever, there are obviously some angry fans, and for good reasoning. So, what's happening? So, Video Games Chronicle pretty much has an interview up about the game and about what the design choices and the decisions that they've made and exactly why they went with what they went with. And this interview is actually really good. They actually asked some questions that are going to drive home some problems. And pretty much, a long story short, the development team talks about how they're just simply wanting to move forward with Paper Mario. They don't want to keep the game series original like the past games. They want to kind of come up with a new story gameplay, but also keep it within the Mushroom Kingdom, within the boundaries of Mario lore and the characters, without adding too much new stuff and flooding the story with brand new characters. And let me kind of talk about each point made here and discuss why this just does not make sense to me. So one thing I'm seeing here a lot is that the developers are saying that they do read reviews and they do check out fans' opinions and their comments after they release a new game, which is very interesting to me, because do they really? It's at the point now where I'm like, do they really check the comments, and do they just straight up don't care? Because what's the point of checking the comments? You check the comments so that you can improve stuff within your game, not make it worse. Well, Kensuke Tanabe, a Nintendo veteran who oversees several franchises, he, oversees Metroid Prime and Donkey Kong, and once again, this all comes from Video Games Chronicle. The link will be in the description down below. But he says that he does pay attention to feedback from Paper Mario fans, and he does hope that they approach the latest game with an open mind, which is just, that doesn't make sense to me, okay? You read these reviews, you read these people constantly telling you that there's problems with the game, and then just what does that do? You just don't follow after that? You just don't listen to people? I don't get, do you really? It's either one of two things. They're lying and they don't read reviews, they don't care. Or two, they're reading reviews and they just don't care. Either way, they don't care. It's clearly there's not making a big change within these games. And I think Paper Mario the Origami King, by the way, before we get into this big spiel, I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing game. I think I'm going to have a blast, and I think it is going to be better than Sticker Star and Color Splash. But it just bothers me that what they had to say and how they, kind of answer these questions, and it just, okay, let me get into it. Mr. Tanabe adds, however, I do think it's difficult to satisfy certain fans with adventure game direction if they think of Paper Mario games as simply being RPGs. I hope that everyone will play this game with an open mind. Now, this bothers me because Paper Mario is an RPG. That's what it's always been. Paper Mario 64, a core RPG. Core RPG elements, very basic battle system. It's an RPG. Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door is definitely a Paper Mario RPG game. It's what it is. It's a simple battle system, once again, partners, combat system. It's an RPG. Now, in Super Paper Mario, they did turn away from this, and this is what's kind of making everybody wonder why. They're completely changing the direction of this game, which is bothering me, because if this is how the direction was supposed to go in the beginning, why didn't it start off that way? You can't make an RPG game and then completely rework it and change the game. Imagine if they changed Smash Brothers from a 2D fighter into like a 3D adventure explorer game instead of fighting people. I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense. You can't just change a series, and if you're going to change the series, rework it, come up with a new title, come up with a new label, because it's not Paper Mario anymore. Paper Mario has been established for what it is, which is an RPG battle system game. That's what it's always been. And those first two games got glorious reviews. So why in the world would they backpedal and say this isn't an RPG anymore, we want to change this up? In fact, it's starting to look like it's not even Paper Mario anymore, and it's more of a adventure type of Zelda game. You're collecting heart containers, for instance. You're doing puzzles. There's even dungeons, I heard, in Origami King. So it's just like, should they just make a Paper Zelda at this point and just make it all overworld battle and just completely wipe the battle system completely and just make Mario and Luigi games from now on if they're going to go the RPG route? I don't know. And maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they realize it's Mario & Luigi and Paper Mario, and now they're stuck between the two. I know Alpha Dream just went bankrupt, but, you know, I still think they got games coming. I think Nintendo's going to help them out. I still think games are going to be produced. But it just makes me wonder, why in the world are they backpedaling from this RPG aspect? But let's continue. Then we start to talk about exactly, you know, once again, that fan backlash and what Tanabe had to say about it. And he says, I do look through the opinions of fans once a game is released, like I said before, as there are cases where I can't address those opinions exactly as fans want. I try to challenge myself to others' new, fun ideas. What I always keep in mind, though, is do as much as I can so that players can enjoy new and unique game experiences. I'm confident that if you play Paper Mario: The Origami King, you'll understand just how many ideas we've managed to pack into one game. Now, this bothers me, because if you really paid attention to what I said, he says, cases where I can't address those opinions exactly as fans want. So, he's saying that I can't pretty much answer your question. I can't fix the battle system for you guys. I can't do what you guys have been asking for so long, but instead, here's a brand new open world, you know? And it's just like, he's just ignoring straight up what fans are asking. Now, obviously, you're not going to answer everybody's request. You're not going to fulfill everybody's wishes. Someone's going to wish, can I have a paper Peachette in the game? Obviously, you're not going to say yes. Can I have paper Bowsette? No, you're not going to do that, you know? It's just obvious. But if you have multiple outlets and fans and channels coming together year after year after year, making videos talking about what they need to do for the battle system, and you continue to ignore it, that is not just you can't address those opinions, you can't fix those part of the games. No, you're just straight up ignoring people at that point. When people are so adamant that they want that one thing changed. If there's one thing that all Paper Mario fans want changed, it's the battle system. If there's two things, it's the battle system and the partners. And that's just only two things that I see fans completely hammer at. Yes, we want a great story and everything, which we'll get to in a second, but the story can come later. We want the battle system and the partners. And it's kind of like, we hear you, but we don't care. Now Tanabe gets into the story. He says, in Super Paper Mario, the elaborate story led the game away from the Mario universe, so since Paper Mario's Sticker Star, I've refrained from using stories that are too complicated. Personally, though, I like games with stories. During the production of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, we made use of a system of character settings and revealed conversations in order to build the story, which was a first for a game in a series. What? So, he's a huge fan of stories, but doesn't think Paper Mario needs them. Oh boy, where do we go from here? Okay, people love Paper Mario stories, and they're never too complicated. I see lots of comments of people talking about Super Paper Mario as one of the greatest games for them because of the story alone. That's why it was so good, and if it wasn't for that great story, it would have been a mediocre experience. And that is so huge that a story was enough to carry that game to be some people's favorite Paper Mario game still, and it didn't even have a battle system. So, how in the world can you say people don't like the story? People love the story. And they've been complaining about Sticker Star and Color Splash, how it was always in the Mushroom Kingdom, and there was just too much, you know, Mushroom Kingdom vibes. It was Bowser's the bad guy, blah, 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 blah. Bowser does this, blah, 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 blah. So now at least we have Paper Mario: The Origami King, a unique antagonist, and probably a little bit different of a story, but it's not deep, of course. There's some streamers, you gotta go fix the streamers, and you take back the castle for Peach. And it's incredibly basic. And this isn't a big thing for us Paper Mario fans, I think. I think story can come or go, whatever. We just wanted the battle system, like I said, and the partners. But how can you just say that people don't want story when that's all people ask for in comments? I mean, it really makes me go back to their statement that they watch comments and they watch, you know, what people say after a game drops. But do they really? Like, can they really prove that they watch people's comments? Because it's blowing my mind that they're saying this. Like, what? Okay, if you guys are still with me, I am, you know, heated still. But we got one more comment. If you guys are not ticked off yet, there's one more statement that Tanabe made that just blew my mind. So, this is about the characters in the game and the villains and everything. And Tanabe states, since Paper Mario Sticker Star is no longer possible to modify Mario characters or to create original characters that touch on the Mario universe, that means that if we aren't using Mario characters for bosses, we need to create original characters with designs that don't involve the Mario universe at all, like we've done with Ali and the stationary bosses. Whether a character becomes an all-time hit or not isn't up to us or the development side. I think it's more the case that characters that fans truly accept naturally end up that way, obviously. I hope that the Origami siblings in Paper Mario: The Origami King will stay in players' memories, even if they do only end up appearing in this title. they are limited to what characters they can use in Paper Mario. Now, I think lots of us have already speculated that with all the Toads and Sticker Star and Color Splash and the lack of unique brand new characters, so Tanabe is pretty much saying that he does not want them to create brand new characters. They all have to stay within the Mario universe, and that the Paper Mario games are peeling way too far away from what Mario is. And it's starting to turn into something that it's not, and that it's not becoming part of the Mario Mushroom Kingdom vibe anymore, and it's turning into another franchise. Oh boy. Paper Mario is its own thing. It's not supposed to be like Mario Odyssey and Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy. It's not supposed to follow the Mushroom Kingdom and as those other games did. Paper Mario was developed as its own thing, to be its own game and its own adventure with its own unique characters and cast. Mario and Luigi did the same thing. Almost every single enemies in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, Mario & Luigi Dream Team, Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, they're all unique enemies for the most part. There are barely any Goombas or anything like that in the game. They're all unique, crazy, goofy, wild enemies, and same with the cast of characters. For Dream Team, you had a freaking pillow village full of pillow characters. They can obviously make new characters, and it's just clearly probably put on time constraint or something. This game was not ready. They don't want to go through all the process of putting out all these brand new looking characters or anything, but instead what they do is they design a whole bunch of characters that have already been in Mario and just make them into origami, because it sounds like it's an easier way to do so. Like I said, this sounds like I'm just bashing this at this point, but let me remind you, I cannot wait to play this game. I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to be showing you guys some cool things within the game. I'm probably going to have a blast. I had a blast with Sticker Star. I had a blast with Color Splash still. It was still fun to me. It was not the greatest games, but it was still fun to me. I still had fun. And Paper Mario the Origami King is probably going to be no exception. But the problem, what makes me mad, is that they had the audacity to come out and to answer these questions in this interview and talk about what's up with the game and talk about the fact that they apparently listen to fans and what they have to say when a game is announced is just completely a lie, because it's not true. Fans are continuing to get upset about what Paper Mario and the company behind it and Nintendo, what they're doing with Paper Mario. They're getting so upset with it, and it's pretty much at the phase where they're pretty much done. And I don't know what the future of Paper Mario is going to hold. Is this going to continue on? Is the next Paper Mario going to be about glue? And the next Paper Mario going to be about construction paper? And the next Paper Mario going to be about, arts and crafts? Like, I don't know where else they go. Is this going to keep happening? Are we going to continue to see the same characters? I don't know. I'm at a loss. To me, it seems like we have made no progress over the last 6-7 years talking to Nintendo about what they need to do to fix their game, and they just have not been listening. And I'm just at this point where I just think it's over for Paper Mario. I think Paper Mario is always going to continue. I think there's going to continue being games until eventually people just boycott it so bad that it's just no longer going to be a game that they make. And it's sad. But this is going to be the death of Paper Mario if this is just how it continues. And it looks like there's no plans in the future to ever change anything. They always want to make things better. They said they want to progress. And I understand you don't want to copy and paste 1,000 Year Door. Don't get me wrong. I get that. Don't copy and paste 1,000 Year Door. It's not going to be good. Make your own new experience, but make it new. They talk about creativity, but what's so creative about running around the Mushroom Kingdom for the 15,000th time? You don't have to go back to Rogueport, but you can make a brand new island, a brand new location, brand new unique areas that are different than what we've seen before, and brand new characters. And that can easily be your brand new game without making it feel like the 1,000 Year Door. Now, the battle system doesn't need to be enhanced every single game. Eventually, you're going to run out of brand new ways to have a battle system, and you're going to have no choice but to revert back to the old way. What I've always heard, and I've always believed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 64, the 1,000 Year Door, wasn't broke. Why did they try to fix it? That's my problem. That's everybody's problem, and I think that's the thing that many people are upset about. Like I said, I am well more than enough to willingly try this brand new battle system. I think it's going to be fun for the most part, but at the same time, I just cannot believe they came out and said, hey, we listen to your comments. We listen to them every single time we put out a game, but we don't care. We're going to do this, and you're going to play it, and you're going to buy our games. That's just kind of messed up. But yes, I could talk about this all day because I'm so passionate about this series, and it's one of the very first series I ever started playing for Nintendo, and the fact that they just sit up there on their throne and look down at us like we're just peasants and they're going to force feed us whatever lackluster ideas they come up with. But, whew, I'm sorry to get so angry. I know Nintendo Land doesn't get that angry, but I had to get this out today because I felt like it was very important for you guys to hear that Nintendo knows that you guys are commenting. They see your comments, they see you guys reaching out, but clearly they're not making any strides to make a difference for the series and kind of return it to its original roots. But what do you guys think in the comments down below? I'm sure you guys agree with me at this point. I'm sure the whole world agrees with me that Paper Mario has kind of lost its edge and is starting to become something that Nintendo wants it to be rather than what the fans want it to be. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.